If you've ever been involved in the building of a house, you probably noticed that the skilled craftsmen started by pouring a foundation and then they erected a frame. This is all done before the siding and drywall is hung, a single brick is laid, or the first coat of paint is applied. While these components do very little to enhance curb appeal or contribute to the creature comforts, they do give the house shape and provide structure, stability, and security for those that will call this house a home. Structure is also a requirement for effective management, and it delivers many of the same benefits: direction, stability, and security. Much like the frame of a sandbox defines the playable area for children and their parents, structures you may need to create and enforce in your role as a manager define the parameters in which people do their work to achieve goals. These parameters can include job descriptions, which help people understand the key responsibilities they will be expected to fulfill in the job for which they've been hired. These parameters can also provide information about where they will do their work. Locations can be defined in a large area, such as the zip codes in a defined territory, or be as specific as to which desk the person will do their work at your office building. Structure also helps define relationships, the most important of which is who the person will report to. Most of these structural components are set by the organization, but they are important. Continuity around these structures creates stability, whereas change can create chaos, or at least uncertainty. You may have experienced this if you've ever been through an organizational reorganization. After the question, "Do I still have a job?" is answered in the affirmative, the next question is usually one of the following: who will I report to? Or, will my job responsibilities change? If you add relocation to the conversation, you may lose a valued member of your team. At the very least, you are likely to see a drop in productivity while changes are processed. Structure builds continuity and comfort, and these contribute to productivity. Other structural elements that people want and need focus on elements of performance and behavior. These are areas in which you may have a greater role in providing structure and setting boundaries. People want to know how their performance will be measured. Therefore, they need to know what goals and objectives they will be accountable for achieving. Sometimes performance and achievement can be measured quantitatively. Sales metrics such as volume to goal or market share change are examples. Sometimes, however, quantitative measures are not as easy to identify. Defining success is more qualitative and may focus on specific behaviors. Yet people still want and need to know what successful performance looks like. This means that you must clearly define and communicate your expectations. Utilize and leverage established competency models and policies and procedures to help you establish these parameters for success. There are two other areas where structure is important. These areas relate to teams and tasks. These two are often interrelated. Teams are often put together for the express purpose of accomplishing a specific task or goal. These teams, like individuals, need information that establishes the parameters for getting that work done. This information must relate to the who. Who are the members of the team? The what. What is the team's purpose? Another way to think of purpose is to define the specific outcomes or deliverables that this team is expected to produce. They need to know the why. Why is the work important? Who will be impacted by their work? What do they gain from being part of the team and doing this task? And finally, they need to know the when. When does the work need to be completed? Teams also need to know what resources they will have available to accomplish this task. These resources could include budget dollars and other tangible resources, or access to key stakeholders who can provide information, insight, and support, or access to others who could influence or be impacted by the decisions they make and the deliverables they create. With the right resources and these parameters established, teams have the freedom to determine for themselves how they will go about fulfilling their purpose. Take any one of these structural elements away, and teams will struggle, and they will need your support. Even with these things in place, teams will still need your help building structure, particularly if they're newly formed teams. You may find it necessary to reinforce the purpose, rationale, and timelines. You may need to help the team or individual members define their role. Often this role definition is helping individual members understand their purpose and your rationale for having them be part of this effort. Sometimes teams need help in defining specific roles, like that of a team leader or facilitator, a team scribe or timekeeper. These roles help the team work more efficiently. You may need to help the team establish group norms or ground rules, which define the behaviors that the members are held accountable for demonstrating. These help the team work together more effectively. And you may need to help establish processes for making group decisions. At the very least, teams need to know what power they have to make decisions and the steps which may follow to gain final approval so that those decisions can be executed. The important thing to realize about structure is that it's not about building walls, but providing direction and defining responsibility. The highest level of innovation and creativity, calculated risk-taking, and productive work is not at the center of the sandbox, but when individuals and teams push up against the edges. People still need to know where those edges are, and you help define that for them. The other important thing to remember is that the size of the sandbox is not the same for every person or every team. It may not even be the same for every task. As individuals and teams grow in their knowledge and skill and demonstrate their ability to make effective decisions, maximize resources, and deliver results, they earn the rights and responsibilities that come with taking on more challenging tasks. In other words, their sandbox grows in size, and over time, it will continue to grow. Structure will always be necessary. In fact, building structure is an important part of what effective management is all about. Parts of this structure are permanent, like policies and procedures. These must be enforced to ensure that work is done the right way and to protect yourself, your people, and your organization. Other parts are flexible, and you define that structure. When you demonstrate flexibility through your structure, or in other words, adapt it as your people and teams grow, you're able to take on loftier goals, prioritize differently to fully leverage your people and resources to maximize results, and plan in a way that allows you to take full advantage of the opportunities that exist. While building structure may not be fun or flashy, it is important and must be done right, with purpose and intentionality. It's what effective managers do.